said, we knew we had the size advantage, and trying to dominate the glass tonight, create create chances to go out in transition, and also punish them offensively to crash the glass. It just allows us to get settled on transition defensively when we all crash. So just keep emphasizing that and continue to the next game.
Yes. Jake, for Andre to say you've been on a heater the last 2 games at home, is there something different about shooting in State Farm Center?
No, for him it doesn't matter.
Yeah. See,
it doesn't matter. When you're a good shooter, you're a good shooter.
He knows what he's talking about. That's it.
Follow up though, like we said, just about the number of guys that can score on this team. Just how did that develop with this group? Where there's the trust that someone can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like in the game plan for certain people to go off. Like he said, everybody's a threat. Everybody's skilled and they're really good at what they do. So it's just we just take what the other team gives us every night. You know what I mean? So like one night it could be me making shots. The next night it's going to be Andre scoring 30. Like it doesn't matter. Like we just take what the other team gives us and we try to excel and do what we can to win games like that. So.
Yes, for both of you, Jake, if you could start when Tommy is going like he was tonight, what's that do for you on both ends of the court? And then Andre, if you could follow up.
Yeah, I think Tommy's just a force. You know what I mean? Like when he's playing well, he's one of the best centers in college basketball. So whenever he's playing well, like obviously, it's a great thing. So.
Yeah, Tommy's a big reason of why I decided to come here. Just a big that can space the floor, so talented offensively, but also just a beast on the defensive side when we're in the drop coverage. Having someone that tall to contest shots, it's huge, and especially when he gets going, he's very important for us.
Jake, is there anything about the corner that you're particularly comfortable in?
Nah, not for me, but everybody here on campus loves the corner. I don't know why, but I guess I seem to hit there. But nah, it's nothing special. I just try to shoot wherever. That was good.
Andre, when there are so many different guys that can score, just what does that do? What's the impact just maybe on the individual? What are you seeing different because you've got 4 other guys on the court that could also be a threat?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of having people like that, because when someone gets going early and they attract doubles and triples at some point, you can't leave the other players alone, and that's what's so great about this team is that you have to play us one-on-one, and with our size, with our spacing, and our chemistry, it's hard to beat us. For sure.
Tonight we played exceptionally well on the defensive side in the first half. I think 16 is a season low. I thought our guards, led by Kylan and Keaton, did an unbelievable job of taking a guy who's been maybe as hot a player as anybody in the league, in Francis, and making his life difficult. We call them rear view contests. They shoot a ton of mid-range pull-ups, and I thought we did a really nice job of challenging that. And then we've talked for 3 days about their offensive rebounding, and 21% of their baskets come on the glass, or their points. And I thought the first half we were really dialed in to that, and that's how you get a 20-point lead, at half. And I knew they would come out in the second half. That team's got a lot of pride. Pikes is one of the best coaches in the country, and get going. We were a little flat. I thought our ball pressure was a little soft, but again, at the end of the day, really solid, and didn't have to play guys a ton of minutes, but all in all, a nice Big Ten win, and did it against a team that plays really hard.
Brad, 2 games in a row where you guys have come out and kind of came out and took a big lead right away. What's the key to that, and what's that say about your team when they do that?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I think it's a good mental focus. I think we've been really dialed in. I think we've gotten much better at not giving up layups and easy baskets. That helps. I was I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shocked after the Penn State game when I looked at the stats and saw they took 38 threes. But all in all, I think we're that group gels pretty well together on the defensive side. We got good length, and we're doing a nice job of making things just really difficult.
Brad Underwood has become a much better rebounder over the past few games. What's led to that, and how's he developed in that area?
I want to take all the credit because I've been just screaming at him for forever. No, he's a conscientious young man. The one thing I'm really proud of, I think we had 20 rebounds tonight from our perimeter players, and we told them that they're big kids a load, and if Tommy was going to hit him, others had to come in and clean it up, and we had to get better defensive rebounding from our guards. And Dre had a couple plays tonight in the first half where he got rebounds and went the full length of the court. Terrence Shannon like. That's IO like. That's stuff that our perimeter guys can do, and so we talked ad nauseum about it. We've really emphasized it in practice, and he's got all the tools and all the abilities. He's got great hands. He's got quickness and strength, and so I'm really, really, really happy with that part of his game.
Coach, Rutgers went to the line quite a bit of times in their last game against Oregon. I think 34 trips to the line. Was that a point of emphasis for you, closing out and contesting shots without fouling? Yeah, and it's one of the things that we've been really good at all year. I think we were 2 in the country in fewest fouls. Make them make it. And they're going to make some. They practice them, they work at it. They're going to make some mid-range pull-ups, and man, I'm good with all of those. Those are hard shots, and we just didn't want to bail them out and put them on the line. I think going in, they had 100 more free throw attempts than their opponents, or close to it. So that's something again we talked about, and especially with Francis. Francis is foul bait. I mean, he baits you, and thought we did a nice job of avoiding those.
Jake also pointed to the defense kind of leaving that 20-0 run in the first half, but what did you guys do offensively to take advantage of maybe those opportunities?
Found him. It was a pretty good option. Moved it. There was no doubt they did some things a little bit differently with Keaton. They've usually been a big drop team and or at the level they doubled him. I thought we especially did a nice job with Ben in there, blurring some screens. Keaton gets it out of his hands quick, and then we find Jake. The first 3 Jake gets is off a 3 or off an offensive rebound. So he gets them in a lot of ways, but I think our team's really starting to understand that when a guy gets going like that, we need to find him. And I was upset at Kylo, and there was a play right in the first half where he just missed him in the corner. Those are the little things that we can't do. So Jake's been playing great, and he's doing it other than his scoring in a lot of ways. But, his ability to stretch the floor is huge for us.
Coach, how do you feel just about the team, just in the way of being connected? Just everyone's talking about Jake and his performance, but it just seems like the guys are just off pulling for each other. With everybody hitting a shot, everybody's kind of going crazy on the bench. Just what does that feel like for you?
It's a coach's dream. That's a coach's dream. This group's very connected off the court, and that helps. But I've also been around teams that didn't hang out with each other much, but were super connected on the court, and that's what we talk about, being an everyday guy and doing your job so you don't let your teammate down, and enjoying I think the beauty of this team is 6 guys in double figures and or close to it, and just not knowing it's going to come from somebody different every night, and getting them to understand maybe I don't have to play 35 minutes a night. I can play 25 and be productive, and know somebody else is going to come in and do the same job. And this team's starting to relish that, and I love that as a coach. I couldn't be any more happy and pleased with how that's working out.
Defensively, Rutgers was very physical on that end of the floor. How do you think that you guys handled that physicality to still be successful?
Yeah, we prepared for it. Pike's teams are gritty, grimy, nasty, tough. They guard. That's who he is as a personality. His teams have always been that. We played one of the worst games in the history of this building
against his team a few years ago. I think both teams shot around 30%, and it's just nasty. It's just what he does. That team had no quit in them tonight. They were down big at half, and I knew they were going to respond. I knew they were going to be that. And he recruits great athletes. Gets them to play really, really hard. So I thought our guys handled it, but we've spent a couple days preparing for it too.
Coach, kind of going back and forth between Brandon and Mahalo being that ninth guy. What are you seeing from those two? And do they each bring something different? Or?
Yeah, they're completely different. I mean, Brandon's not as much a point guard as he is as Mahalo. It's just kind of what the game needs at the time. Brandon's going to be an unbelievable scorer here. I mean, we had him playing Francis yesterday in practice, and I was concerned as heck because we couldn't guard him. And he is an elite scorer. And then he's a pit bull defensively. He's got great strength. Where Mahalo's more of a creator, and it's more about the lineups and the matchups and that. But they're both doing great. They're both working, and it just gets hard to play guys a lot of minutes when we're into a good rotation. But they're both playing really good.
We had 5 straight games that Jake's played at least 15 minutes. What do you do to put himself in that spot? And what were you looking to unlock on both or either side of the floor with more minutes for him?
Probably the head coach got smart. I mean, Jake's playing with confidence. He's our leader. He's a very, 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 very good player with really good players. And I don't mean that to sound bad about him. He doesn't need the ball. He doesn't want the ball except to shoot it. He doesn't demand the ball. And so he does everything else that's at an elite level, his screening, his blurs, his pace that he runs. He's got an unbelievable knack of going full speed and being able to square up and shoot it. Turned into a really solid defender, physical. We love him defensively because he's a great talker, and he's very, very smart when it comes to scouting reports and knowing what's going on. He can talk his way through a lot of that.
Brady, you talked about how this team needed to practice. You've had a lot of practice here recently, stacking good defensive performances. You said this team kind of accepts, that it's a different guy. Do you feel like this team is gelling, or it has gelled over this last month?
Yeah, I still think we have a big jump. I think we have another getting everybody going kind of together. But I do think defensively we're right there. I still think we're giving up too many offensive rebounds. I think I'd like to see us force a few more turnovers. But I think that jump's coming. But at least I feel better about our chemistry, our talk, our problem-solving ability. I think we're getting better than that.
When did it maybe click for this team that there's going to be 5 guys on the court that can maybe be that scorer? When did they maybe find that rhythm offensively?
I think we've had it. I think we've been pretty good off. I think we're 3 in the country today. I mean, I think we've been really at elite level offensively. I think it's coincided with getting better defensively, and then just understanding, okay, Keaton's had some games that he's had 10 assists, and then he's had games where he's had 20 plus points. Bam's had the same. Those guys are going to make others better. Merck's had big games, so I just think it's an understanding those guys of whatever the game needs, we have somebody we feel like can go be productive in those games. Whether it was the Tech game and Andrej Stojakovic, a lot of ISO stuff. It's just what the game brings at that time.